Modafinil. Is it the king of nootropics? Hi, Forge Mastery here. I'm pretty sure you are not watching this video to find out what modafinil is. You can read that on Wikipedia. Instead, you are looking for a user experience. You don't care that much about what science says about modafinil, but want to know if it actually works, and how. First off, I am not a doctor. I am simply sharing my personal experience with modafinil via doctor prescription. This video is for educational purposes. Do not take modafinil without a doctor, do not order without a prescription. Today, I'll cover my experience using two different generic brands of modafinil. Modafinil, and Modalert. Both in the 200 mg per tablet version. I still remember the day I received my prescription. I was thrilled. Finally. And I couldn't wait to give it a test run. But I knew I couldn't go for a real test run just yet because anytime I'm testing a new brain booster, I will only try a fraction of the recommended dosage first to make sure I don't have an allergic reaction. This is especially important with powerful substances such as modafinil. So, I consumed something like 20 mg of modafinil the day I received the doctor prescription, and then a few days later I was ready for the full-throttle 200 mg modafinil dosage. I wanted to err on the side of caution and decide to wait 2 hours after my last meal, then I popped the pill, gulped it down with a glass of water. And nothing happened. I couldn't even tell that I had taken anything. Immediately, I thought the product was bunk. Perhaps a bad batch? I went online searching for modafinil not working, and ended up on Reddit where I found a few people with the exact same problem. Just like myself, they had taken modafinil, and noticed absolutely no effects. Where was all the proclaimed brain power? Working laser-focused like a machine for hours on end? Modafinil is often compared to the pill NZT48 from the movie Limitless. All just BS and hype. I didn't know what to think, but wasn't about to give up just yet. Whenever I try something like modafinil, or any supplement/nootropic for that matter, I will test different dosages several times before concluding it's not for me, or that I don't respond well to it. I think it took more than 5 trials until it finally worked. I had tried a bunch of things. Taking it first thing in the morning. Combining modafinil and caffeine/coffee. Drinking lots of water and making sure I'm well hydrated. Taking modafinil on an empty stomach. None of it made one tiny bit of a difference. The problem? Hype. I was waiting for modafinil to hit me like a freight train. I was waiting to transform into that productivity machine. It didn't happen. Not because modafinil didn't work, but because I was looking for crazy, over-the-top mental effects to kick in, and that's not how modafinil works. Not at all. In fact, modafinil is subtle, much like caffeine. Modafinil is not a stimulant, so don't expect crazy energy, to get high or reach an altered state of consciousness. The night I worked for 9 hours straight. I'm not kidding. 9 hours straight, plus 2 5-minute toilet breaks. That night I couldn't sleep, and decided to do a little modafinil experiment. I wanted to see if the mental state I was in before taking modafinil would have any impact on the effectiveness of the drug. I decided to do something where I would have to focus, read a book. I read for half an hour, and then pop 200 mg modafinil. Then I read some more for 20 minutes or so. Then I switched over to the computer, and started to work. I worked, and worked, and worked. Then I stopped. It was early morning already, and time to head to the gym. So, what was modafinil like? Imagine the boost and focus you get from caffeine, only that you don't get mentally tired, or distracted. That focus/ease of continuing a task lasts for hours on end. Even when I was already at the gym 9+ hours later, I still had that focus while working out. The work I was doing was writing a video script, then editing the video. Mostly creative work, and for that modafinil worked pretty well. Many say otherwise, that modafinil isn't any good for doing creative work. Well, it worked for me. The key here is that you can't expect any nootropic to work for you right away. That's mainly because you will probably have read about what it's like online, and filter your perception through that lens, while in reality the effects are slightly different for each person, and oftentimes very subtle. What I also noticed was that I found it almost impossible to think negatively. This might be due to modafinil's effects on dopamine. I did not experience a modafinil crash, much like the caffeine crash. So, what about any modafinil side effects? None that I have personally noticed during, or after consumption. A few times I decided to combine modafinil, and caffeine, and that's when I thought that subjectively speaking my blood pressure went up. I definitely felt a stronger heartbeat. I did some research, and it seems as if modafinil blood pressure issues are well known. Modafinil will raise your blood pressure, even if only temporarily. The best and safest option will always be getting a modafinil prescription from your doctor. As is the case with any drug or supplement, there are side effects, and you won't know how your body reacts to it. That's all I am going to say about this topic. Talk to your doctor. Modafinil is the drug name, and there are a number of companies producing generics. The most popular ones are Modalert, Modafresh, Modvigil, Vilafinil. I've used both Modvigil and Modalert. I didn't notice a difference between the two. What are my final thoughts about modafinil? It does work, and powerfully so. Would I use modafinil every day? No, definitely not. While most online resources claim that it's safe, common sense suggests that a drug this powerful can't be without side effects. I'm not sure what they are, but there is no such thing as a free lunch. Does that mean I'm against modafinil? Certainly not. I still use it regularly whenever I need to get something important done. Perhaps once or twice a month.